So even if you look at the Ananda Tandava Murti, the Ananda Tandava Murti is actually the transcendent. It is the final form. And that is what everybody worships. That is what is in Chidambaram temple. Those of you who came to me, you can, they can. That is the final form. That is bliss. You are finally at the peak. You are vibrating at the highest level possible for man, for deva, for anything. So that is the Ananda Tandava. Because the symbolism is very great. Most people know most of the symbolism. There is a person dancing. But one very unique thing about the Tandava Murti is that he will always be standing only on one leg. Yeah? No matter what the posture, if both legs are down, then no matter how much dancey it looks like, it is not a Tandava. For the Tandava to work, given the way the energy is structured, it is always only one leg. So that since he is Jagat, since he is Jagannath, since he is Vishwanath, the Lord of the world, they are communicating their understanding. The yogis are communicating their understanding of the world. The core concept in yoga is that the world is never comes into being at a particular time in history and then is destroyed at a particular time in history. That's not our understanding. Our understanding is universes are constantly being created, universes are constantly dying, which is the truth. Galaxies come into being, stars die, stars get born. So the concept is very simple. The concept is vyakta avyakta, manifest unmanifest. At any given time, certain aspects of consciousness are manifesting in the universe, certain aspects of consciousness are receding. Which is why on all our temple walls you will never find three-dimensional sculpture, you will always find relief. So you're never sure, is that murti coming out of the wall or merging back into it? The same idea, that consciousness keeps winking in and out of existence. There is existence in one part of the galaxy or one part of the universe. So this notion is captured in the Nataraja. This notion is captured because he is dancing. If you notice, he dances in this ring of flame. Behind him there is always this little ring which is of flame. That is called the Prabha Mandala, the flame circle. And that is because, as all of us by now should know, fire is the symbol of life in yoga. Wherever there is fire, when your fire dies out, your body temperature cools, that means you are dead. So heat is basically the symbol of. So since he is dancing worlds into existence, that symbol has to be very clear. The Kundalini, the symbol of fire, has to be there. And he is dancing on something very interesting. If you notice, there is a little dwarf that he is dancing on. Have you noticed? Under his foot there is always a dwarf. That is apasmara. Smaran karna means to remember. Apasmara means to forget. So amnesia, forgetfulness, is the enemy of consciousness, and Shiva is pure consciousness. So he is constantly trampling forgetfulness. Be aware, be aware, be aware. Don't be. What is it? I will never allow anything into my memory. Yeah, memory is the problem. Memory creates vasana samaskara. Not even the mind. Yeah, smaran karna, to apasmara. He's just controlling the thing of the memory. Two hands. One left hand is always curved. It is called the Chandra Hasta, the moon posture. And in that left hand, he always has a bowl of fire. Right hand has got that damru thing, that little drum. And usually the damru is placed in between the posture like that. Now every yogi, the minute you do that, they know what he is doing. It is a certain kind of mudra. It is a certain kind of connection is being made with nadis all over the body. So it's a very tremendous posture to do. And the damru is there. Now, the normal understanding is that the fire is the destructive side of the universe or of life, and the damru is the constructive side. That because nada is the basic sound, and Shiva has a moon in his. All Natarajas have a moon. That moon has got a very unusual name. It is called the Anuswara. the atomic sound, the first sound. That sound, why is that called? Because when things come into being, then time begins. When things are created, that is when time begins. The moon is the symbol of time. Things are created with sound, anuswara, so that atomic sound, that time begins when Shiva uses sound to create. And of course, the word is Om. The word is Om. Even the Christians knew that in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. So they know that. It's right there in the Bible, right in the beginning. So creation happens in that sense with words. Sorry, not with word and not even with sound. Swara actually doesn't mean sound. Swara means vibration. It means a very deep level vibration of life. Usko swar kehte hain. So the Anuswara, he is using the damru. He is using the damru to. He is using the damru to beat the sounds or to capture the rhythm of existence, and creation happens. On the other hand, there is a fire. On the other hand, it can be looked at the other way also, because the left side is the Vama Bhag, the creative side, the feminine side, the Shakti side. Fire is the source of life, the symbol of life in yoga. When the fire goes out of you, you die. So it could be that the fire is the symbol of, and whenever there is a war, the first thing people do is start beating drums. Yes. The very word is war drum, no? They are beating the war drum. So it's not so easy and not so simple as you think. That fire is automatically. No, fire is always a sacred thing in our culture. Fire is the most important thing. There is a little joke in that also, because the dancer is Rudra. Rudra does not get any of the punya of the Vedic sacrifice, of the Havan. He remains outside. Only the other devtas get. He doesn't get because he doesn't need. But in that little, so there's a little visual joke. They are making fun of the people who believe that Shiva doesn't get the punya of the havan. Ki why? Because uske haath mein hi to sare havan hote hain. In the Chandra hasta. And then that there is always that left hand. That left hand is always, it drops in a particular way. It's very rare Nataraja where the left hand, it's called the Gajahasta. And most Natarajas made today, they get that completely wrong. Because, to make a three-dimensional and then to get that hand like that is a nightmare. So, they just leave it straight out. And that completely ruins everything. Because if that hand is not like that, a certain thing in the energy, the circuit is not completed. Because that hand is pointing to the upraised left foot. And that the foot of Shiva is the source of salvation. So he's pointing that out. But it's not only that. When the Nataraja stands, and if you're a little awake, you have little yogic intensity, you can immediately make out how the chakras are functioning. And if the hand is not in Gajahasta, it just simply does not work. Everything goes for a toss. So you can look at the 64 Natarajas or even the 108 Karanas as teaching tools if you want. That you look at it and you figure out, okay, this is how the chakras are working, this is how the prana will be, this is how the breath will be, this is what I need to do. You can actually stand in that position. You can actually hold your body in the Nataraja position, and if you are strong enough to stand like that for 3 minutes, you'll start feeling differences in your body instantly. And just try taking away the Gajahasta and you see the difference, which is why I make such a fuss. No, don't flap your hand. Don't flap your hand, because there is, all these things make a difference. And since I know the Tandava, I know the difference, that little bit moving your hand can make a difference. So this, and of course he's got snakes all over, and he's got a snake tied, usually he's got a snake tied around his belly, which means that the Kundalini has now erupted and it is moving, and he's got control over it. And usually the Nataraja in most temples will always have the form of the Devi beside him. The Nataraja is always a very happy family man. He's not. Actually, the word for Shiva is not Nataraja, it is Nrityashila, habituated to dance. Sheelam, that's what we say in Malayalam. That is a habit. जो नाचने का आदत हो गया है, he is habituated to dance. That is Shiva. So this is much more complex than we understand immediately. So dancers have their own understanding of the Nataraja based on what is there in the Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra, which is perfectly valid. But yogis also have that understanding, and it's a little deeper.